Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Helen. If you're new here, I would love if you subscribed, maybe give a like to this video if any of your experiences are the same, or if you just like it, it will always make me happy.
Can you hear me right now? I got your number and I'm calling you out. With liquid courage I can...
So, as you all know, this is my first YouTube video. My first YouTube video. Wow. I'm speechless. Follow me on Instagram and Snapchat. I'll link them down below. And if you have any questions or things you want to share, let me know and we can talk. So you guys, today is going to be a video about multiple sclerosis. Now, I've been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and actually it wasn't that long ago that I was diagnosed. I'm sure that a lot of you guys already know what multiple sclerosis is, but for those of you who do not know what it is, multiple sclerosis is an autoimmune disease. And it's a long-term disease that it affects the brain and the spinal cord and the optic nerves in the eyes, causing problems with like vision, balance, muscle control, bathroom, there's irregularity when you go to the bathroom, constipation maybe, your mood fluctuates, you have energy fluctuations as well. Maybe you feel really fatigued or depressed, and you really wouldn't know the explanation for it, and that's actually one of the most common ways it's diagnosed. I took a couple notes in my journal about it, so just to give you guys some tips and tricks and basic background information on what it is. I don't know very much myself, so you can always let me know in the comments if I missed something out. MS, for people diagnosed with MS, or maybe even not even diagnosed, there can be problems with everyday tasks. Maybe doing chores is not so easy. You have to put a little bit more energy and focus into it. And this is because of the nerves. Now, basically, with an autoimmune disease, your body is attacking the nerves. And specifically with MS, the myelin, I will put a picture up here, the myelin of the nerves, the very outer shell of the nerves, is actually being damaged, which is exposing the inner nerve fiber. And mind you, the myelin is actually the outer layer of the nerve that protects the nerve fiber, but is very crucial in the behavior and activity of the nerves. When that myelin is damaged, then the signals between nerves are disrupted, and I will put a diagram up here showing you exactly how that works. So with people with MS, the signals from the brain to the nerves are maybe delayed, or they're not so strong. So you can see how there's a strong correlation between that and everyday tasks. It's not so easy. Maybe you're dragging your feet a little bit. Your body just kind of doesn't feel quite normal. So the important thing here is that also when the myelin of the nerve is damaged, which is, again, the myelin tissue is a fatty tissue, and when that is damaged, the body wants to fight it, but it ends up actually causing a lot of scar tissue. When the nerve signals are not clear, it can cause several symptoms. It says here that People have maybe trouble walking because their feet are maybe dragging, or they feel heavy. They feel really tired and fatigued, and they don't understand why. Maybe they get plenty of rest at night. You know, they have a not very strenuous day, but they still feel so fatigued and tired. There's a lot of maybe muscle tension, but also weakness of the muscles when you're moving your body, and you feel really sluggish, and also muscle spasms. And this is so so difficult to understand why. Numbness and tingling, and that's actually part of my story. I will go on to tell a little bit more about that. Problems sexually, including trouble getting aroused or trouble climaxing, poor control of the bladder, and bowel, constipation, unexplained pain, depression, or maybe there's a lack of motivation. You're not so interested in the activities you used to love. You have a hard time getting out of bed. You have a hard time, just that drive is maybe not as strong as it was. And also brain fog, or problems focusing and remembering. And this can be specifically difficult when you're a student in high school like me. According to some research online that I've done, the first MS symptoms tend to show up around people ages 20 and 40. That's the most common, but actually these days it is becoming more common with people my age. I am actually 18. I turned 18 3 days ago, and it was quite a shock to find out that I had MS. I was diagnosed before my birthday, and the whole story is just so crazy. But in teens, the symptoms can actually show up, or the scarring can show up in ages maybe 13 and 14, but it's not as common. So I think there are two types of MS, depending on when it's diagnosed and when symptoms appear. There's one very common type called relapsing and remitting, and that's when you have these attacks, symptomatic attacks like the numbness, the tingling, the pain, and it comes, and then maybe the symptoms get worse and worse and progressively worse. It's called a relapse. And then you have periods when you are recovering and the symptoms seem to improve, but maybe it's not always like a one-time deal. You may in the future have several other attacks, and it's so unexplained. It's truly a really odd disease. According to research, according to scientists, they are looking very hard into MS and why it is caused in certain people, and there is some explanation with people that have certain a genetic predisposition to it, like if you are a child of somebody with an autoimmune disease, then you might have a genetic predisposition depending on how strong their genes are to it. That's actually my story too. My father is actually has multiple sclerosis too, and the funny thing is that with multiple sclerosis, it's not actually genetically passed on. Like you can't have your father and then automatically 100% your daughter or your son is going to have it. But my genetic predisposition was more likely that I would get an autoimmune disease, and it just happened to be MS. Yeah, it's a strange world. So in medical research, they're actually really looking into how MS is caused and the history of it, there really is no clear explanation of what certain diseases may cause it and how do people get it. That's really the main question right now that scientists are trying to look into through intensive research and clinical trials and study. And this is symptoms that may appear. It's not the same in everybody. Everybody is different. But my story with the diagnoses was really quite strange. When I was little, I didn't feel quite normal. My body has always had some sort of issue, whether it be brain fog. I would have episodes or days where my brain, I just felt like I can't talk, I can't think very well, and it affected really my performance in school, and it was very frustrating. And I would also there was this one year where I would fall down, and it was so strange because I would not ever remember, my body would never register falling. So for example, I would just fall and then I would be on the ground and then I would think, oh my God, did I really why am I on the ground? Like, what is happening? You know, this is so strange. So I just had really recurring things, maybe even trouble, I know this is TMI, trouble going to the bathroom, digestion, I felt bloated a lot, and I was worried about gaining weight, like, oh my God, am I gaining weight? This is really weird. So it was really frustrating. It was really something that concerned me and took up a lot of my time. So I went to a doctor and they just asked me really simple questions, basic questions about my health, checked my reflexes, checked my eyes and my ears, and they didn't see anything. They said, look, you're healthy. I wasn't on medication, and which is surprising because I was going through all of these weird bodily symptoms and they were so unexplainable, but I just thought that I was healthy. So I just went about my life, you know, got into a lot of exercise programs, did yoga, I eat very healthy. I enjoy the holistic approach to health. I am an exchange student. Going to Germany in Munich at the Oskar von Müller Gymnasium starting Monday, which is in 3 days. Oh my God. So I'm learning German and hopefully don't forget my English. But I'm there for a year, and before school started, I was doing doing like a summer vacation, and it was really nice because it's been like more than 2 months. It's been like a 3-month summer vacation. I've been to Italy, and I've been to parts of Germany like Leipzig and Berlin, and oh my God, it is so wonderful. I'm so lucky and so excited, but part of this story is actually interesting. 2 weeks ago, I was in Italy, Caorle. How do you pronounce it? I don't know. I was going on vacation with many families that maybe can't afford a really big vacation. So we went to a bus down to Caorle, right on the beach in bungalows for a week.